Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Toxic Talks, episode number 36. And I'll be real. Nothing too crazy actually happened this week. Nothing in terms of gaming, nothing in terms of really my life. But sometimes those weeks happen. Sometimes those weeks happen. But I mean, we still have stuff to talk about. So, what better way than to talk about the game we're playing, War Thunder? And as you guys can see, we are still grinding out Germany. Now, I will say this, the German ground grind has not been the easiest. It has not been the easiest. I don't think the 2A4M is bad, but I don't think it's good. Like, for me, I would definitely prefer the T80UE over this thing. I know this might be a little controversial, but I think I would rather the clickbait over this thing. Now, I don't say that it's the worst top tier tank, or sorry, I should say premium tank in the game, but it's definitely not the best. Like, it doesn't have any really bad parts to it, but it doesn't really have any good parts to it. So we're kind of struggling through. Not that we aren't making progress. Like this next week, we should have like actual decent things to add to our lineup. Nothing like crazy good, but things that can actually put up a fight against top tier vehicles. So, but I mean, it'll be by the end of the week that that happens with that. It's just gonna be a little bit of an oof. But in terms of air though, we're actually cranking through pretty quickly. We're actually cranking through pretty quickly. We should be to the EF 2000 by the end of the week. All things considered, we should be by the end of the week. Or sorry, not by the end of the week, like a week and a half, give or take. But like basically to the point by the end of this week, which I mean, I'm excited for. We get to go back to America, get to go back to Russia, Sweden, Japan. Just have a good time, finish those off, maybe build up some SL before BF6 comes out. But, you know, we're having a good time with Air, to say the least. The Tornado, honestly, was actually such a good pickup. Don't get me wrong, definitely not the best fighter I've picked up, I would say. I do prefer the F20, the 23 ML. I don't think I like the F4S in terms of a fighter better, but I think the F4S is definitely a better grinder than the Tornado. Yeah, it's a little interesting to say the least, but we're almost done with that. We're actually almost done with top tier German air, which is very surprising that we actually managed to do it like this quickly. But I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. But that's basically where we're at for War Thunder, which I mean, we have basically a little over a month left before BF6 and Arc Raiders and all that fun stuff. But we're gonna have a good time going through what we can, and it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Now, in terms of some new stuff that has happened with me this week, again, nothing terribly interesting, but we actually ended up getting our controller a lot sooner than I thought we would. Uh, Basically we picked up an elite controller because scuff controllers, I don't know, like scuff controllers, I feel like the layout for it is a little bit better than elite controllers, but elite controllers are definitely more durable, they're more reliable, so that like it'll definitely last longer than my scuff controller. But we actually got it way sooner. They said 3 to 4 weeks after ordering. I think we got it like what, a week and a half after, which is insane. um, uh, definitely expedited that thing. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. Don't get me wrong, not as much customization as a scuff controller, but I got my colors on there. I got my green, my blue. Technically, blue is the main color, but it looks good. It looks very good. And I got it engraved with my gamer tag. Obviously, Toxic Commando looks incredible. But we got that in preparation of Battlefield. But we are using it for Elden Ring, and very nice. And speaking of which, we've been playing a little bit of Elden Ring off stream. I don't know. That seems to be my go to game right now, just because you know they're really like this is that sort of weird time because like school is starting, summer's ending for a lot of people. So they're not really coming out with too many games at the moment, so we're sort of stuck with what we got, you know. Don't get me wrong, very very good summer release and what we know of like the late fall early winter release looks absolutely incredible. As you guys know, Battlefield and Arc Raiders and just everything looks absolutely incredible. So we now have the controller for that, which I again I'm so excited and I'm so happy to be using because don't get me wrong, I loved my other controller. It was absolutely amazing, but the amount of wear and tear I put on it, not so great, not so great. But in terms of Tarkov, we haven't really played too much of it this week. Um, in fairness, I mean, we played a little bit, I think, with our buddy from the good old days of New World, getting him through it, and he's actually preparing himself, getting more involved before the November 15th release. Which, by the way, I'm pretty sure last week I said December 15th. I was mistaken as November 15th, and on top of that, also apparently at Gamescom they actually there's no like official like, oh, this is a trailer or this is how Tarkov is going to basically the end of the game is going to happen. But there was, I think, a video done on it or like an article, and then someone did a video on the article about the ending and how you actually escape from Tarkov. And it's more. I'm pretty sure they basically said it's more of a cinematic than an actual like raid kind of thing. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm all for. I'm all for. But there's a lot that was teased in that video. I don't think I'm gonna go too much into it because I know a lot of people, they want to experience it for themselves. Now, for me personally, I don't I don't know if I'm gonna play the PvP side of things. I'll have to wait and see. I I'm sort of I sort of know that when 1.0 releases, there's gonna be the most amount of cheaters and the most amount of rats on the game. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually end up playing it, but I think I think what will more than likely happen is I'll probably just wait because someone's gonna get to the end of the game within like 3 or 4 days. We already know it. We already know it. So I'll probably just watch it that way. But I mean, my other option is technically to wipe my PVE like account and start fresh. But honestly, I don't really care to. I don't really want to. It doesn't really bother me to do that. I sort of the my PvP account is just sort of just there to play Tarkov and not have to worry about like wipes and stuff. But I think again, I'm not saying I won't because there is definitely a possibility that I might play the 1.0 release. I just don't know how I feel about it. If Arc Raiders goes to shit really really quickly, which by the way I don't think it will. It looks like an incredible game, but if it does, then probably I might end up playing Tarkov, seeing how that goes out. Um, but you know, only time will tell. Only time will tell. I'm not gonna make any predictions right now, but we'll see what ends up happening with that. But that's basically what's been happening with gaming now, in terms of sort of what's been happening with my life. Uh, I mean, we technically. So for me, I've been on a weight loss journey since basically graduating college. I was a big chungus from all that cafeteria food and all that stuff from college. So I've been on a weight loss journey since then. But I mean, technically speaking, recently I hit my goal. But currently, right now, I mean, I'm at my goal, but I'm having some problems trying to maintain it right now, which I know is crazy. Maintaining weight, what an issue. But I've actually ended up, and do not follow in my footsteps, but to sort of maintain it, I've added soda back into my diet. Not like a lot. Like I used to drink like a lot of soda. Um, But for me, it's like one thing of like 16 or 20 ounces a day for lunch is like a little treat for myself. And then I've also added some chocolate milk for myself, just as a little thing. I don't know if that'll mean like basically last because the first day of it, basically I added a pound, so we'll have to see about that. But we'll see. Either way, for me, I hit my goal, which I'm really happy about. I achieved it, and for those wondering how much weight I actually lost from college to now, in total, it was 60 pounds. So I'm 60 pounds lighter than what I was before. So guys can go see 2 years ago just how big of a chungus I actually was to what I am now. It's crazy. But this isn't. I will say this. This isn't the first time I've lost weight before. I want to say this is about the third time. I wouldn't say an issue, but it's challenging for me. Trying to, I guess, hold a specific weight. Pretty much since like middle school, I've had this issue, and I'm not going to go into the personal reasons as to why, but there was a big reason why, and I'm still trying to, I guess, deal with those lasting effects. But at least I'm where I'm at. I'm where I'm at, and I'm happy about it. So yay me! But also another interesting thing that happened to me this week. If you guys were in stream and you guys know, I had a 2-hour phone call on stream. And you might be wondering, Toxic, why would you take a 2-hour phone call? Why would you take a 2-hour phone call? Well, for me, I didn't want to take a 2-hour phone call. I just did, you know. And you might be asking, what was it about? What was it about? It was without going into too much detail, it was basically a girl I met on a dating app that wanted to talk to me. Now, don't get me wrong, this will never ever fucking happen again. I will never ever do that because, the basically I wasn't able to communicate with people for 2 hours. Don't get me wrong, people were laughing their asses off with my facial expressions and my like body movement. It was funny, but that will never happen again. Either way, yeah, it was people were like, "Oh, is he talking about his taxes? Is he talking about his business?" Like, yeah, no, it was quite literally a girl wanting to talk with me for 2 hours, but I don't blame her. I don't blame her. What can I say? What can I say? I have a charm to me. I have a charm to me. But um, it sort of, I guess, goes to the weekly advice, um, which would be sometimes in life things don't go as you planned it, and you just need to improvise. Don't get upset and just go with the flow. Like for me that day, just nothing went to plan. But you want to know something? We made the most of it. We made the most of it. And sometimes that happens in life. Like take the time I went to the wedding. You know, my first flight got in late, and I was like, "Oh no, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is terrible." But then my second flight got delayed, which I'm like, "Thank you. Thank you." Like everything seemed to be just topsy turvy, but in the end everything worked out. And even if it doesn't go the way you think it should go, or the way it's most beneficial to you, you want to know something? Sometimes the way that you don't imagine it going is results in the like in such a good outcome that you're like, "Oh, well, why didn't it happen this way? Like it shouldn't have happened even the way that I thought about it." And that's just part of life. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. Sometimes you have to adjust, and sometimes it works out in a way that you could have never imagined. Sometimes life is just interesting, I guess, is the best way to put it. Is just interesting. And if it was as straightforward and linear, I feel like a lot of people would get so bored. Like, people, like, for me personally, I don't like drama. I don't like uncertainty. It I'm not that kind of person. I don't like the just the up, the down, the left, the right kind of stuff. But I know a lot of people who are like, if it was straightforward, they would be bored out of their mind. So, if life throws you a curveball, sometimes you just got to enjoy it. But that is all we have for you in this episode of Toxic Talks. Let me know what you guys think of in the comments. Let me know if you guys have anything you would like me to talk about, any advice you guys would like me to give. I am more than happy to. I love helping people. So again, if you guys need some assistance, just let me know in the comments. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys. So again, thank you to everyone. I hope each and every one of you guys has a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. And as always, take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.